My house collapsed on me. I was running and I fell. The house collapsed on my foot. My foot was crushed, and on it went.
For Islands, like millions of people in Haiti, the 12th of January 2010 has left an indelible mark on their minds and bodies. On that day at 4:45 p.m., Haiti was struck by an earthquake measuring 7 on the Richter scale. The most powerful earthquake to hit the region in 200 years, it devastated the capital Port-au-Prince. It killed 230,000 people, injured 300,000 others, and left 1.5 million people homeless. Handicap International, in charge of a humanitarian aid transport program in Haiti since 2008, when the country was hit by hurricanes, took immediate action. Several hundred tons of humanitarian aid were transported on behalf of 50 organizations using the program's 45 lorries over the following weeks. The aid consisted mainly of water, food, cooking packs, and plastic sheets. This logistical effort was extended over the next few weeks with the delivery of temporary shelters to the island's most isolated regions. In January, the injured and amputees in particular were hardest hit by the emergency. Handicap International's health teams took over where surgeons left off in hospitals, providing post-operative follow-up care to the injured and amputees to minimize disabling after-effects. As well as working in hospitals, our mobile teams provide medical support in local communities. Injured people unable to go to hospital or whose injuries require follow-up care are finally able to benefit from medical attention.
Straighten your knee, like that. Push my hand. Can you push it? Just push. Where does it hurt? In your knee? How long since you last straightened your knee? A week? You've been like that for a week? Let's try to straighten your leg together.
Run by some 40 expatriate staff, Handicap International's health teams are supported by personnel from Haiti. These healthcare personnel were given fast-track emergency training to case manage people with fractures, amputations, and paralysis. Four months after the disaster in the devastated capital of Port-au-Prince, the clear-up and reconstruction operation finally began. Already affected by a disastrous social and economic situation before the earthquake, the people of Haiti, particularly the 3 million inhabitants of Port-au-Prince, will feel the impact of the 12th of January for many years to come. Handicap International began offering emergency orthopedic fitting services in February for some 3,000 amputees. These long-term activities will continue beyond 2010. Half a dozen nationalities, French, Canadian, Swiss, American, Brazilian, British, and Haitian, work side by side on our international teams of physiotherapists, occupational therapists, and orthoprosthesists. Gilberto, a teacher at Don Bosco University in El Salvador, came to Haiti with 6 other orthoprosthesists. This morning, he's supervising the fitting of Island's prosthesis.
So far, everything's okay. It's the first stage. We're going to fix a date for the next session.
Island is trying her prosthesis for the first time. It's always a difficult moment, a mixture of anxiety, pain, but also hope.
No, I'm not afraid. But putting weight on my prosthesis is still difficult. I've got the chance to live my life again like before, like everyone else.
Life for Island, like millions of people in Haiti, will never be the same again.
I have friends who would have liked to have been here today. Unfortunately, they're not. Being an amputee doesn't mean life's over. On the contrary, life must go on. I've accepted how I am. That's the first thing to do. I'm here. That's the important thing.
Alongside the technical aspects of orthopedic fitting and rehabilitation, the human dimension, self-esteem, is an everyday concern for Handicap International's teams.
We try to minimize any after effects. You need to take a global approach to the person. If someone asks 3 or 4 times if they need an X-ray, they're feeling insecure. They're really asking, reassure me. It's going to be okay, isn't it? That's when you need to take a slightly more human approach. There's nothing technical about it. It's case management.
Talking, reassuring, forming bonds and establishing close relationships make it easier to understand each situation. In a dozen disability focal points around the country, we don't limit rehabilitation care to earthquake victims alone. Set up rapidly by the association, disability focal points provide vulnerable and disabled people with access to humanitarian aid during emergencies. In direct contact with the local population, Handicap International's teams were able to assess the extent of the psychological shock suffered by many of the injured and survivors, which led to the immediate launch of a psychosocial support project. Discussion groups are held every day, like this one at the Champ de Mars focal point. People talk about their problems, fears, doubts and futures. Some are shocked, others resigned or bewildered.
I'm not afraid of anything now. I was afraid, now I'm no longer afraid of dying. I'm ready to die. I'd never seen that before. I was pulled from the rubble. I'm alive today, thanks to God. It's the present that counts. On the 11th of January, we had normal lives. We didn't know what was coming on the 12th of January.